Okay, this says it's recording, and one of the things I wanted to do is make videos for our garden. And my name is Ruby Joyce, and I have a plot at Old Orchard Gardens. And so we want to welcome all of our new people. And this little tape is just kind of an educational toy that I can use to show the gardens I'm getting ready to go down there. And we can communicate by it and have comments and things like that and start up some kind of communications. Everybody is getting ready with their seeds and bringing seeds down, getting ready to plant their plot. And one thing that you're going to become as a gardener is a seed collector. And I thought it was funny because Jean Michaud has the same. I noticed that she says, well, I have seed. I have seed for borage. And I said, oh, that's funny. I have seed for borage, too. Well, neither of us had borage plants. But when Mary left, there was a plant left in one of the plots that was just producing seed. And, of course, as gardeners, we're going to save seed. We're seed savers. And I have some lupin I saved. This lupin is about maybe 4 or 5 years old, but I bet I'll have a good germination from it, and it'll grow anyway. So I save them even when they're years old and plant them maybe 3 or 4 years later, and it works. The germination won't be as absolute as new fresh seeds, but it's pretty darn close. And if you do it right, you got it. One thing I want to express to our new gardeners is that you need to have wooden boxes. This is a wine box to put your seeds in. And you need to kind of collect them. Wood is the only thing that really works. This is a cigar box. I got it at the smoke shop in Scarborough. And that's, of course, what I'm using now is cigar boxes. Because you're going to find out that your seed won't work in any other type of container. You're trying to keep it airtight and put them away for the winter. And if you use metal, you're going to have inside all spoiled mold growth. The seeds will be ruined. They'll be totally ruined. So you have to use something. Here's striped zucchini. I had this 1 year. And that's a couple years old, but it's probably still going to work, but I saved the seed. And in wood, everything works. Now, the moisture content has to be right. There has to be airflow. It can't be totally tight. It's got a paper, of course, is what's used to put the seeds in. I want to get down to these down here because these are paper towels, and they have seeds in them. And here it says, these are Roma tomatoes. And there they are. Roma tomatoes. And this is heirloom black tomatoes. There's the seeds. So these are put on a napkin, and they're kept at the right, when these are put in wood, when they're put in water, they're going to come to life. And they have the right content of humidity as they were stored. Heirloom, yellow tomatoes, golden. So there's kind of seeds saved. Here is a red sweet pepper. So these we may use. But the wood keeps the right consistency of humidity and everything. It keeps the seeds perfect. And you just put them in there, lock them up. One problem you're going to have is rats and mice. Rice and math. Which you can tell if they got into it or not because you can see if they dug a hole in your wood. But I've never had them do it. And I know I've got mice because I set traps down there and I catch them, but they don't ever get into the seeds. If you have the seeds in a bag, they'll get into them. They'll eat them all up. And you'll see telltale signs. So a wood container is your best bet. It'll keep rodents out. It'll keep your seeds perfect, and it's the thing to store them in, wood. Yep. Another thing of value you're going to want to get are the 5-gallon buckets. Everybody wants 5-gallon buckets. They are handy for everything. But the problem is, after you've had them for a couple of years, the tops are gone. I have no tops. So I'm going to probably go down to Home Depot and buy one that has a top. Now, I was down to the garden yesterday and I did some weeding. And here's my weeds. And one thing, when you pull your weeds, they're clinging on to the very best soil you got right there. The weeds know where the good stuff is. And they got a hold of your very best topsoil with nutrients in it. And look at the way they grew. All that growth. This plant has all kinds of nutrition in it. These leaves are loaded with nutrition. And it's pulling it out of your soil, out of your garden. What are you doing? Well, you're picking all your weeds out. You're throwing them out. And you're throwing away and depleting your garden when you do it. This is a natural food that you can fertilize your garden with. And it's real easy to do. We were talking about compost piles. And this is an ideal thing. Every gardener should learn it. When you put seed, or weeds, in a pot, and you immerse it in water with a weight to hold them down there, they're going to rot. And the seeds, if the weed went to seed, all the seeds are going to die. They're going to rot because they're immersed in water. And the water is going to pull out all your soil back and all the nutrients out of these grasses and turn into a kind of a yucky looking water, but it's full of nutrients. And you water your plants back with it and put it back in your garden. And it's simple to do. It's completely rotted and gone in a couple of weeks. 30 days is 1 month when everything in there is chumped up and rotted, and you can mix it right in your soil. And you've got your nutrients back on your plants, developed even better with more nutrients in them. So it's a thing to learn. I want to get a top for mine because I don't want mosquitoes laying eggs in it, and I don't want to put oil in it to make them so they don't, because oil is a no-no. So I'm going to go to Home Depot and get one with a top for this purpose. Well, I've been picking asparagus daily, and I love asparagus, so it's a fun thing, and I always fix it on toast and have this every spring because I get it every spring in my perennial garden. Little joy in the garden. And these are quite long, too. I've noticed. Well, let me find one here. How long this is. Well, you know, if you go in the grocery store, here it is. How long it is. Okay, I would say this is 1, 2. This is about 2.5 feet long. Yeah. And it's not woody at the bottom. And I don't have to cut the bottom. It's tender because I just picked it. Now, if I leave this alone for a couple of days, it'll get woody. But right now, it's very tender, and I can steam it, and these will stay all tender. So I'm getting a lot more asparagus than what you normally get when you consider that you got a 2.5 foot long piece that's all tender. Well, so it's a generous little pan full of asparagus, and a lot of fun considering I don't have to do anything to get it. It's just there. That's the kind of garden I like.